picture on Sunday afternoon announcing he was back in the United States, that partially because of an upcoming promotional tour for Jordan Brand that will take him to New York, Chicago, and finally here in Los Angeles on August 3rd, which is a significant date. Put an asterisk there because we'll come back to that. But first, I want you to check out the cover of Men's Health that just dropped this morning, The Dawn, looking svelte. He heard the doubters, and he's been putting in work, putting the rest of the league on notice. He looks a little tan, too. He's been out in the sun. We love to see it. Look at who we have here. Hall of Famer Mark Spears, our NBA reporter covering all things Lakers, David Benjamin, and I am Christine Williamson filling in for Malika Andrews. The cover, Luka Doncic. He looks good.
He looks amazing. Super amazing.
Yeah.
I think when we think about this 10 years from now, there's things that happen in life, and I think you guys can attest to this, where you say, it all worked out.
Yeah.
It all worked out. And while it did, and Dave knows, cost him some money.
That's right.
I think 10 years from now, Luka's going to say it did work out for the better. I mean, when you look at this transformation, a Mavs fan, maybe Nico is like, well, why didn't he do that with us?
Right.
Well, all of a sudden, he's looking like this. So I think this trade ended up with the teasing, the hate, the social media stuff, and inspired him.
Yeah.
And it ended up pushing him to get in this amazing weight that I think is not only going to make him an MVP candidate next season, it's going to make him have longevity in his career, keep him around longer. Like, look how significantly different that looks. And, you know, that's kind of the elephant in the room is like, you got to be accountable for what you were, but also love where you are. So I think this, again, there's some vitriol that won't leave from Dallas, but I think 10 years from now, they're probably like, you know what, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you for making me a better me.
Yeah, I think Luka says that. I think Mavs fans still have a lot of questions.
Well, they got Cooper, so it all worked out for them.
Yeah, maybe.
And except
TBD.
for the rest of the league should be mad.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so Dave, I mentioned that August date. Is with the Lakers this season, is the expectation for Luka to sign the extension?
Yes, certainly. I mean, the Lakers, I'm told, are excited about the opportunity that sits in front of them, that they can put ink to paper to have Luka Doncic, this skinny Luka Doncic, become the new face of the franchise moving forward, whether that be for 3 years and he can become a free agent after 10 years of service in the league and, you know, really get a big contract at that point. It'd be $300+ million and be making close to $1 million per game. Or the Lakers will be able to offer him, coming this Saturday, August 2nd, in the neighborhood of 4 years, $229 million. And that could just be too big of a number to pass up rather than trying to recoup more money down the line. It's a major opportunity. And listen, this is the first time in Luka's career he has gone to Europe in the offseason, then come back to the States.
Yeah.
But to me, is a very significant decision by him, not just to promote Jordan Brand, of course.
That's something to sign.
But to end the trip in Los Angeles, where we're all expecting him to make a major commitment.
Yeah, it could be the exclamation point on the end of his trip. What kind of year do you expect out of Luka this season, Mark?
Destroyer, angry, MVP candidate. You know, there was this 42-inch vertical thing. I don't know about all that, you know, but I think he's going to be more bouncy, taking the ball to the hole. We've seen angry Luka, but angry Luka in this kind of shape, like how dangerous a superhero can that be?
Yeah.
And think about it, the way he has transformed his body. It was the discipline, right? Cutting out gluten.
Yeah.
Low sugar. Intermittent fasting.
Low-cal Doncic.
Low-cal Doncic. A lot of protein, and maybe the most significant part about me, for me reading this story, was that he put basketball aside for about a month, and it was all body work.
Yeah.
And in the past, kind of for the Lakers coaches and even Mavericks coaches to try to motivate him to work out, they needed to gamify it. They had to involve competition in basketball.
Yeah.
This was like, I'll take out all the competition. I'm just going to focus solely on getting my body to a good place, you know, lower inflammation with these dietary decisions. And there's going to be plenty of basketball on the back end, and I'll be better equipped for it. And so to me, that was a more mature approach for Doncic.
Okay, but the biggest question for me is it was such a quick turnaround for him to make this change. Why could they not do this for him in Dallas? That's the biggest question.
I think he has to answer that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and that's perhaps a big part of why he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I think for Dallas too, like while you heard a lot of negative things, there probably is a lot of stuff that they're not saying. There's stories that I've heard that they're not saying. But ultimately, he has to be accountable. And he may not have been accountable with his words, but he's accountable with his body.
Yeah.
Because he made the change.
Yeah, yeah.
You inspire me, bro.
I know, you inspire us all. I'm cutting out gluten and sugar, 250 milligrams of protein. I'm going to work on that this summer. Okay, so Luka, of course, is not the only Laker grinding this offseason. LeBron James is back from vacation and let everyone know he's back in the lab. 4:49 a.m. in LA. Quote, let's get it. You're 23. Coming soon. So, Dave, there have been some doubts cast on LeBron's buy-in towards the Lakers this season. What does this post tell you about what LeBron is doing?
He's extremely motivated for the opportunity in front of him. Kind of the last national conversation we had about LeBron was where's his head's at, because Rich Paul issued a statement to Shams Charania when LeBron opted into the 23rd year of his contract, and it was, well, we better have this team be very competitive, or, you know, LeBron recognizes he only has so much time left in his career and will prioritize finding a winning situation. He's doing what he needs to do in order to make LA be a winning situation next year. He was working out with Chris Johnson, the trainer, with Tyrese Maxey today. You know, that's, you know, another young, motivated guy who you get in the gym with Tyrese Maxey, you better get your stuff together. You can't go look like a 40-year-old guy. He'll blow right by you. And so this is a very good sign, a very good day for the Lakers, quite frankly. You have Luka Doncic wanting to prove to the world that it's not just Sasquatch videos that we've seen from overseas. Like, you can see me in the States looking skinny Luka, and we have LeBron following suit saying, I'm going to be right there with you just as motivated.
And these are things that Kobe Bryant did, right? Kevin Garnett, I remember going to watch him work out at 7 a.m. in the morning in Las Vegas on a Labor Day weekend. Like, who does that? Kevin Garnett does that. And he wanted to be there at 5 a.m. They wouldn't let him into 6 because it was a holiday weekend. And I remember seeing him work out, and another guy didn't come in till like 7:30. It was Corey Maggette. And Garnett said, I asked him, why are you here so early? He said, I want to be the first person to put my feet in the sand. And LeBron is doing that. And perhaps, which, hey, might have been part of the timing, I'm sure he saw those Luka pictures before we did, right? Like, okay. If he's coming in shape and ready like that, not that he wasn't doing it anyway. He's been doing it, but I mean, 420 tells me you're excited. I have no question that this man is not going to work out. He's got the $1 million plan around him every year. But to get up at 4:20,
4 in the morning is crazy.
You're excited. You're ready. You're ready for next.
I don't think it was 4:20.
It was 4:49. I think he was getting to the gym at 5 a.m.
That's a different excitement at 4:20.
4:40 is
it's too early. It's too early for me. I'm not working out that
I ain't waking up to 7.
Okay, fair.
That's a little ridiculous. Okay. Eventually, Luka will head back to Europe because FIBA Eurobasket 2025 starts in 30 days. Big news this morning that Nikola Vucevic will officially be added to Serbia's roster as well, making them the favorites for the upcoming tournament. So here's a look at the odds according to ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Serbia is still looking for its first Eurobasket title as an independent country, followed closely by Germany and France. Giannis in Greece have 9-1 odds, and Luka in Slovenia are at 12-1. But we have to go back to the Joker. If Serbia wins, I am not sure he'd be as happy as he was this weekend. This weekend, back in his home of Serbia, Nikola Jokic's horse, Demon Deles, which we think translates to Demon of the East, won a harness racing title, and the Joker let his emotions go like we've literally never seen. Lifting up the cart and the driver, there were champagne showers for literally everybody. You can see it there. Very emotional. Like, sir. The poor jockey's probably like, bro, put me down. Mark, what does his reaction tell you?
Man, it looked like he's at City Park. I mean, this ain't the Breeders' Cup, right? This is not been there. It's not
Look
that.
Look at him when he won the finals.
Like, I mean, but look, when he won the finals, it was in 5 games. So perhaps that was a reason why he wasn't as emotional. Although I did hear that he was like, what, I got to stay for a parade? I'm ready to get back to my horses. So it's okay to have other inspirations, you know. I like vinyl and wine.
Okay.
So
you cry.
Hey, I'm happy for him. I cry when I get a good bottle of Cardinal.
Okay.
I think this is just great, like, work-life balance, right? Like, he's going to be playing more basketball pretty soon for Eurobasket, but go make sure that you're enjoying your life, enjoying the fruits of your labor, and that can refresh you mentally, physically, everything.
That horse must have really bad odds, right, to be.
He's that emotional. Okay, but this is how I look at it. I see, like, you love your mom and you love your husband, I'm saying I don't have one, but you know what I mean. You love different people differently.
I don't think any of us.
So you're right. So when you think about it, it's like if your kid were to win something versus you yourself. So that's how I see Joker's reaction.
I like that.
Isn't that a good? That's a good comparison.
analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take that. We had a packed weekend in the W. It's time.
She's nice though.
She is. A round of this or that. I'm going to give you guys two options. Pick A or B. Very simple. Starting with the first one. Who doesn't love watching NBA players take on campers? Donovan Mitchell and Trae Young going at it with their campers on camp or at camp. Mark, which guy do you think would be harder to guard and pick up?
I don't want to guard Spider. He might dunk on me or something like that. At least with Trae, he's going to shoot threes, and I'm tall, so maybe I could alter a shot. Maybe.
You? I'm talking about a camper. He's little size, though, if you're a camper.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, okay,
I'm going to stick with what I said.
Okay, you agree.
I don't want to guard either one. I don't even want to guard Coco Jones.
Yeah, and this is no shade, but I feel like Trae is like the same size as some of the campers, so they could
Just
probably.
said, who would you rather guard? I'm just.
Oh, but it's like as a camper. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was thinking it from a camp perspective.
Okay.
All right, we have to give congrats to Jarrett Allen. He got married this weekend. His former teammate Isaac Okoro posted this on social media. There was a choreographed High School Musical routine. Who has the better moves? Do you think it was Jarrett Allen or Dean Wade?
I got to give credit to Jarrett Allen here because all eyes are
But look
on
at Dean.
But I mean, Dean is like the supporting cast here.
Uh-huh.
Jared has to be the star and the starring man next to his beautiful bride. So all the pressure's on him to make sure he does it right for her. Dean Wade, it's just all
Nobody cares.
great.
Look like
he's just back
he's
there.
like trying to
He's
go
back
as
there.
they go
Dean
along.
Wade, credit for being a good teammate, but
Yeah.
it's all on Jared.
But he does look like he could be in High School Musical. A couple of MVPs hanging out. SGA holding his basketball camp in Toronto. And guess who was there? You already see him. AI. Allen Iverson, obviously. Shea, the reigning MVP, and AI won the award in 2001. But how similar are the two? Here's a comparison of Allen Iverson and SGA's MVP seasons. Both led the league in points per game and free throws made per game. Huge difference in field goal percentage, though. And SGA also won Finals MVP, while the Sixers lost to the Lakers in 5. Mark, who had the best MVP season, SGA or Iverson?
Man, Allen's gonna get mad at me. I'm gonna say Shea because he won a title. Although this performance, I was there that night, was one of the most incredible performances in finals history. And shout out to SGA's dad. Like, who gets Allen to come out anywhere? He must have got him a PJ. And Allen was actually asked about practice by one of the campers, and he said, "You need practice to be successful in life and everything you do." So. He's starting to give him the OG answers now.
Yeah, pretty
One
good
of the
advice
best
there.
dunks of Allen's career was that follow-up dunk on a foul line tip in Toronto. Great to see him back in Toronto. He is a legend wherever he goes.
Yeah. Also, they both rocked cornrows. I don't know if that's a coincidence there, too. Maybe.
Well, because Shea, I think that was his guy, too.
Yeah.
He was inspired by him. And now Allen's saying that his daughter's inspired by how Shea dresses. So.
Oh, see? So much inspiration.
The swag
going
came full
around.
circle.
Exactly. Okay, so we had some news over the weekend. Our own Shams Charania reports that Billy Donovan has signed a multi-year contract extension with the Bulls. The Knicks briefly showed some interest in Donovan this offseason, but he will be remaining in Chicago. So with the departures of Popovich, Michael Malone, Taylor Jenkins, and Tibbs, Billy Donovan is now the third longest tenured head coach in the NBA, behind Eric Spoelstra with the Heat and Steve Kerr with the Warriors. Donovan is entering his 6th season with Chicago. So the Bulls, have made the playoffs once under Donovan. They are yet to win a playoff series. This year probably won't break that streak. So Dave, what needs to happen in Chicago to change the future of the franchise?
I mean, obviously, I spent a lot of my day job covering the Lakers, and seeing them have their major franchise sale over the summer for a valuation of $10 billion makes you think about the Reinsdorfs in terms of they're one of the remaining family-run businesses where their main stream of revenue is from their teams. It's not like they have some outside private investment or real estate, et cetera, et cetera. And you just have to wonder how long a business like that, like the Reinsdorfs, family, mom and pop, can compete in today's NBA. Now, certainly you could say they could make some better decisions, look at some of their free agency decisions, trade decisions, draft decisions over the last 5 to 10 years. But just bigger picture, I don't know if they will be the most competitive team if they have that ownership structure in place.
And Josh hasn't signed yet. I did see Billy Donovan, he probably don't like me saying this, but at the Wynn having a meeting with Josh Giddey, so maybe that's a positive time to figure something out. I think Matas Pazelis is going to be a special player that's going to continue and ultimately end up being the face of this franchise. But, you know, I'm wondering why Billy committed. I know he could have got another job. He could maybe go to college, and he must believe the direction of this team. But this still looks like a rebuilding franchise, which I'm still respectfully trying to figure out the direction.
Well, I mean, we would say when you commit, it's guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And you get paid no matter what happens down the line. So it's a smart
Chicago's
move.
not a bad town either to live in, right?
So it's a smart move in my estimation, just to sign it if the money's there.
But you said rebuilding. How long are they going to be rebuilding is the question.
It just seems like the same thing every year.
Right.
You know, they finally did make a trade. Is their pick going to get them one of the guys next year? Like there is some beauty in the picks next year, but that's not good if I'm talking about that, right? This is the Chicago Bulls. This is the home of Michael Jordan.
Right.
They haven't been to the playoffs in years. That one appearance was one and done. They're still like one of the most marketable franchises in sports, but yet there's no marquee guy that anybody wants to see.
Yeah, I mean, there was that half a season where Lonzo was healthy and you have DeMar DeRozan hitting game winners, and you're like, oh, there's something to build here. Vucevic in the paint, but that dissipated almost as quickly as it came together.
Yeah.
You haven't been excited about them since D Rose was healthy.
Yeah, but still one of the most recognizable franchises. In 8 seasons in the making, Chris Paul will be making his reintroduction with the Clippers later this afternoon, and both of you guys are going to be in attendance for CP3's press conference. Mark, when you think about what you're going to talk to CP3 about, what is the biggest question that you have for him?
Well, he had an interview with the amazing journalist friend of ours, Jamel Hill, in July, where he said at the most a year, 40 years old, and like there's expectations that this will be his last season. But I'm hearing that, don't expect him to say that at the press conference today. You got to remember at the time when he spoke to Jamel, he didn't know where he was going just yet. Playing in a Los Angeles Clippers uniform is different. You could actually commute to your house instead of taking a private jet to your house. You could go to your son's game. You could go to your daughter's events. And they got their stuff going on too, so they ain't got time for daddy all the time.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that he's in a Clippers uniform gives it a different dynamic where maybe, it could add another year to his career. And you're talking about a guy who's a vegan. He's in Luka's shape, right? He's in great shape, right? So wearing that uniform, and I think it also solidifies that he will be the first guy to get his jersey retired as a Clipper. Maybe it gives him some extra life to even go beyond 41.
Yeah.
I think because of the way they're going to use him, it won't necessarily put so much taxing demands on his body. So maybe he can extend it. You're talking about a team that obviously the ball is going to be in James Harden's hand as the primary playmaker. You have Bogdanovich, you have Chris Dunn, and so Chris Paul, well, I don't think we relied on night in, night out. We actually might see the first time in his career that he gets a DNP CD. It's never happened in his career. The only time he's missed a game is because of injury. He played 82 games last year. But, when you look at this Clippers roster construction, there might not be a night in, night out demand for Chris, which, one, could certainly help him stay fresh throughout the season. And two, if he stays fresh, of course they're going to trust him in a playoff situation.
Well, in the fourth quarters.
The fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be special. He's played with James already. He's not played with Kawhi, but I think the one thing that the Clippers are getting in him is I remember watching those Lakers teams with Kobe and Shaq early on, and guys like, Ron Harper and Brian Shaw, they got them to the finish line to win games.
That's right.
I could see Chris playing that role in the fourth quarter, even if he didn't play much, but coming in the fourth quarter, tight games, getting them to the finish line to victories.
So you think this new role that he's going to be playing with the Clippers will allow him to play a few more years in the league?
Yeah.
42, 43?
Why not? Like, it's easier. He's a family guy. He's about his kids.
Yeah.
And now he could touch his kids every day.
Yeah.
So I think that makes a difference. If this was, a different uniform outside of the LA area, I would think differently. But being that he's home,
Yeah.
and your biggest issue is commuting from the Valley,
Yeah.
It's possible.
He also got the number 3 from Bradley Beal. So just conjuring up a lot of nostalgia for Lob City as well for people that were Clippers fans back then. Again, CP3 will address the media today, but he will be also sitting down with our Malika Andrews, and you can catch that interview tomorrow right here on NBA Today. Let's talk about something that Chris's new teammate just learned. Young Hansen has been having a pretty good summer. He was selected number 16 overall by the Memphis Grizzlies. Then he was traded to the Trailblazers, and as a Blazer, at Summer League, he averaged almost 11 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks per game. Now, he is teaching trash talk to Kawhi Leonard. Yes. Take a listen to this.
Are you been liking the NBA?
有个兔子一样。
Yeah, extremely fast though. Can you give me some phrases?
That's your last name.
Leonardo.
Big dumb.
How you talk trash?
你防不了我，
From Buliala.
吵吧。
It's a big dummy.
I need some in-person coaching for that.
啊，那边兔子做的很好吃。
I'll try some rabbit. Man, if you got some free time, let's get in the gym. Have some shooting contests. When I head out there, I'm going to hit you up.
Keep touch.
What's that mean?
Keeping.
Oh, keep in touch.
Not him speaking English, and Kawhi can't now understand English. Mark, how much trash talk does Kawhi Leonard talk?
He's like a robot on the floor. That's the most I've ever seen him talk.
Right.
Get these two guys a podcast. I think that would be special. I ain't never seen him show. People that play with him, and Dave knows this, always tell me about how much personality and how fun and how cool he is behind the scenes, and he doesn't show it to us, but that's great. Get those two guys together.
You would listen to that podcast?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why not?
About 5 minutes long per episode, but yeah.
We got to this point by Young Hansen's dad talking trash to him. He told the Washington Post that basically my dad told me when I was a kid, I was a little chubby, like, you better pick up a sport or you're going to be fat. I don't want to be fat. So thank you for Young's father.
Could you
Talk
imagine?
some trash talk, so now we get the trash talk with him.
Could
I heard
you
somebody
imagine?
online saying that you pronounce his name like, say, Young and Handsome real fast.
Young and handsome?
Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
But you saying that, can you imagine him being 7'1" and out of shape?
I mean, we've seen it in the
That's
NBA.
true. That's very
I
true.
can name probably
very true.
a laundry list of guys.
Speaking of Rockets, over on ESPN.com, Kevin Pelton released his grades for all 30 teams offseason so far. And coming in at the top of the class are the Hawks and the Rockets with A's, while the Nuggets came in just behind with an A-. Mark, in your opinion, what would you give an A grade, or what team would you give an A grade for their offseason?
I'm going to give Jeff Weltman some love with the Orlando Magic. I think he certainly is deserving of an A. I mean, making that trade for Desmond Bane, and Orlando's known for being quiet, that was something I wasn't expecting. That was aggressive. Paolo basically after the season told Jeff, told management, look, man, we need some shooting. We need some added depth. We need some guards. And they did that. They got Desmond Bane, who's going to bring leadership, shooting, defense, toughness. They got Tyus Jones. That was a sneaky move, too, to get another veteran guard. Re-signed Banchero. Re-signed, to get drafted Jace Richardson. Wagner re-signed. Like, I really like what the Magic are doing. And they're a sleeper contender in the Eastern Conference. Like,
It's wide open.
Don't play with Paolo. I think Paolo's an MVP candidate next season.
All due respect to Kevin Pelton, I got to take that minus away from Denver. I think Denver's had a tremendous offseason to be able to get Campaign, who had finals experience in Phoenix, a prototypical 3-and-D wing in today's game. They keep their core of their 3 best championship players. I know you had to part with Michael Porter Jr. to do so, but you still have Joker, you still have Gordon, you still have Murray, and, Christian Brown's only going to get better. I just think they had a pretty good playoff run that was cut short, and I think we're going to see them, they gave OKC as much as they could handle.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be right there next to OKC in the top of the Western Conference standings this year, thanks to their offseason moves.
All right, we'll see if they're able to give them a run for their money. Now, if you're wondering, were there any franchises that got an F in Pelton's NBA summer school? There was. It was the Pelicans. Mark, what do you think of the Pelicans getting a failing grade for their offseason?
I love Kevin, but I don't love this grade. I think it's extremely unfair. When you look at this, it's all based on what could be projected in the draft next season. But if the Pelicans make the playoffs, like, what's this pick, right? Like, it could certainly be a moot point. It doesn't account for getting Jordan Poole. It doesn't account for getting a guy in the locker room that you could sit next to, Zion, a vet, and Kevon Looney. Getting him to leave the Warriors to come there and be in your locker room and getting that sensational Jeremiah. Jeremiah's going to be a star, I think, a future star, Jeremiah Fears. So I don't know how you get an F when you're bringing in all that, and you don't, unless you could tell me that this is going to be the #1 pick next year. Kevin, I love you, but that was a really unfair grade.
And listen, Troy Weaver and I go back to our Syracuse days together. Troy goes back even further with Carmelo Anthony, and he knew Carmelo Anthony from the time he was a young teenager. And when I talked to Troy about Derek Queen in Las Vegas this summer, he said he reminds me so much of Melo. Body size, a competitive nature, a joy that he brings to the game, the way he relates to his teammates. And obviously, he has a little bit of an injury situation. He's going to be out with his wrist, but there's still plenty of rookie season that should be there for him to take advantage of when he gets there. And, I mean, listen, Troy Weaver has a very strong track record of identifying talent and having them be able to translate the next level.
All right, just because you get an F in the offseason doesn't mean that you're going to get an F in the regular season. So we'll see what they're able to do. Just 3 West teams have longer odds of winning the conference at ESPN Bet. Still to come, perfect 14-0 record at home, the 4th longest home win streak to begin a season in league history. Sunday, the Lynx hosted the Dream. Lynx are 14-0, like I said, at home. Minutes to go in the 4th. Dream leading 85-78. Brittany Griner gets it in the post. Nails the turnaround J.
Still got that.
Dream up 9. Next Lynx possession. Nafisa Collier drives to the basket, lays it in, plus the foul. They, of course, continuing to fight in this one. Yes, she is. MVP for sure. All right, so they're down 5. Collier gets the ball in the paint, puts up shot off the glass on the Dream inbounds. Collier goes for the steal, but she steps on the baseline, and it's called out of bounds.
But did she, though?
She almost saves the game for the Lynx. But they said she was out. So the Dream would go on to win that one, 90-86. Now the Fever took on the Sky. No Caitlin Clark, no Angel Reese.
I want my money back. Give me my money back.
So many people were saying that, but Kelsey Mitchell, who has the 2nd most points in the WNBA, came to play. Look at her. Catches the wing, knocks down the 3. Under 30 seconds to play in the 1st. Mitchell turning on defense. She's an absolute bucket. The longest tenured player in Indiana on the Indiana Fever roster, and she showed up in this matchup.
Hey, man, Stephanie White's doing some coaching.
She sure is. Gets the ball on the outside, knocks down another 3. She had her 9th career 30-point game, 2nd most in Fever history, only behind Tamika Catchings. So the Fever, they have won each of their last 2 games without Caitlin Clark, but still have a losing record in games without her this season. Indiana's scoring dropped significantly without Clark, particularly in the paint and on fast breaks. Paige Beckers was held out of the Wings game yesterday against the Aces for rest, but Beckers has had an amazing first season. Beckers, your bestie. Beckers has averaged 18 points and almost 6 assists a game on her way to becoming the fastest player to reach 350 points, 100 assists in WNBA history. Our Al Duncan caught up with the All-Star rookie during the break.
And here is Paige Beckers. People of Hopkins, Minnesota, anxious to see this. Oh, you make it look easy, Paige. Paige Beckers, a master class.
The sensational #1 overall pick.
Paige, you're making history almost seemingly every time you walk onto the court. Has that surprised you at all, how quickly you adjusted to the pro level?
I mean, I feel like I'm adjusting every single game. It's not like I have it figured out. Like, there's learning curves to it and there's ups and downs to it, but as much as I can, I'm just trying to learn every game, watch a lot of film, break stuff down to where I'm reading the game in a different way. Every game's a new challenge to learn from.
She's got a special career ahead of her, and we're here for it.
The UConn connection does not hurt. There's obviously some incredible UConn legends that have played and are still currently playing. Have you in any way discussed with them your sort of journey into the pro level?
Yeah, I think I've leaned on Sue and Dee just because, they've experienced everything. They've got like 20 years in the league. They understand like what I'm going through. And so just leaning on them just for advice, for wisdom, and how to navigate it all.
It was recently announced that by the year 2030, we will have 18 WNBA teams. Some people say that's great. Some people say maybe it's expanding too fast. Where do you fall?
I think it's great for our league to continue to grow and for more roster spots to be available, more teams to be available. But I think we also need to expand on what we do have in the league right now, and the way we're treated. This game is going to continue to grow, so we want to grow with it, but at the same time we want to be better right now.
Vectors will be talked about, and for good reason. 35-point. Dallas falls to 1-10. You can understand their frustration.
When you were in college, Gino always talked about your leadership. What does that look like in your first year and on a team with other rookies as you're trying to navigate this new space yourself?
Having an experience of being a part of a good culture, of a good foundation, of great standards, and really wanting that to be what we build around in Dallas, trying to find my voice in that, of learning, being a sponge, being receptive to things, but also knowing that I have a lot of love and knowledge for the game, so I always lead with the right intentions. We try to, as much as you can, just lead by example with your actions and